Hey guys, welcome back. It's Mario Vegas and you are watching Tank Zone. If you haven't subscribed yet, then it is the right time to do so. And this video episode will apply on any online tank shooter game, like for example World of Tanks or Armored Warfare or any online tactical tank shooter game actually. Today we will take a look at another very important part of a gameplay. We will look at how to decide and pick the right retrofit modules for your vehicle. These things may have different names depending on the game, but principles are absolutely the same, and I will use Armored Warfare game as an example. To pick right modules for your vehicle might sound easy, but believe me, it might be quite mind-boggling, especially for new players who just started to play. There are quite a lot of modules to choose from and fit on your vehicle, and all of them improves certain stats. This is a difficult task to choose between those improvements, which ones you need and which ones probably you don't. So the question is, which ones exactly should you pick and how to know that you are picking the right ones? There must be numerous ways to do that, and I think that there is no one and single right way how to do that, but I will show you the way or algorithm, if you wish, how I do that. So, shall we start? It consists of two simple and quick steps. First thing, let's pick the vehicle. Recently I started to develop my French vehicle line in Armored Warfare and purchased a new tank. So let's take a look at this AMX 40 Tier 5 French main battle tank, and let's pick retrofit modules for this vehicle. First thing I always do, I go to the game's wiki page, search for vehicle's model and do the reading. Usually there is useful information that you can use to decide your gameplay style with the vehicle and start to make decisions about what module retrofits your vehicle will need most. And sometimes you can find even information about suggested retrofit modules. However, you should not take all that you read for absolute rule, but it might be helpful point to start with. And in this case, with AMX 40, there are no suggested modules, but we can take and use very important information. Let's start with the features section. Among all common main battle tank features like heavy armor, high caliber and things like that, there are two features that stand out in comparison to the majority of other main battle tanks, and these features are additional autocannon paired with the main weapon and accelerated reverse movement, which increases reverse movement speed. So that tank has movement and versatility of fire advantages already. We will keep that in mind, and let's move on. Let's take a look at pros and cons. Pros: the autocannon and good reverse speed. So we already learned that from features section. Cons: garbage hull armor. We will keep that in mind, and long reload times. Well, remember I told you not to always take all that you read, all this information as the absolute rule, and you will witness that after a while. So let's quickly summarize information what we got here. Based on the game's wiki page, AMX-40 might be a maneuverable main battle tank with versatile firepower, lower than average armor, and probably long reload time, which makes the initial judgment to think about AMX-40 more like a second line of fire support tank or as a flank, but definitely not a brawler. So let's switch back to the game and continue with step number 2. This step is simple, easy, and very logical. Let's ask a question. Which stats should I improve to make this vehicle more competitive with other opponent vehicles on the field during the match, and which stats I could potentially increase even more to get an edge? Let's remember that we are talking only about module retrofits, and for sake of a point, let's not take into account player skills, commander skills, crew skills and upgrades, and definitely we will not compare this vehicle with premium vehicles and things like that, okay? So then what about those stats? Which of them to improve with the modules? Again, for sake of point, let's assume that in an ideal situation during the match, as a majority of opponents, we should encounter those with the same tier vehicles, right? Therefore, in this step, I simply compare every of my new purchased vehicles stock stats with the same class vehicles stock stats it may potentially encounter on the field. In this case, main battle tanks. So let's do that. As AMX-40 is a tier of 5 main battle tank, let's compare it with some other tier 5 main battle tanks. Let's start with the sustained damage. And straight away, I would like to point out one thing. Remember, I told you not to take a wiki page info as an absolute and single rule. It was said that AMX-40 has a very long reload time. As you can see, it is actually the opposite. AMX-40 has quickest reload in its tier and class. It is 4.5 seconds reload time. It also has the highest damage per minute and alright penetration. And that means it already has some edge by these parameters regarding sustained damage. Potentially we could install gun breach to even more boost this advantage. So let's keep that in mind and let's move on. And defense tab shows hit points and good frontal protection against AP shells. However, it lags behind its other counterparts regarding hull versus heat protection, which should be taken in account during the game. Let's move on. A very impressive movement, and as we learned from a game's wiki page, AMX-40 has good reverse speed as well, so it increases my temptation to use it more like a flanker rather than second line fire support tank. And again, in my opinion, the flanker needs rapid firing capability, right? And therefore it is another plus in favor of a gun breach module retrofit choice. Utility tab shows us a very moderate vision range, and insufficient vision range is very important parameter not to leave without attention, especially if your vehicle is fast, intended for fast agile gameplay and probably flanking. And we all are familiar with that terrible consequences that insufficient vision range brings behind. Therefore, I would say augmented optics module retrofit is very necessary for AMX-40 main battle tank. And finally, targeting. Insufficient gun depression reinforces the decision to go away from close range combat, especially on slopes. Turret traverse is alright and can stay as it is, but we can see that the fully aimed accuracy and aiming time must be improved, especially if we want to maintain fast, agile gameplay. So therefore, corresponding retrofit modules must be picked and installed. At this point, we should make a final decision about which retrofit modules to purchase and install. So we decided that AMX-40 will be played as a flanker, using its speed and maneuverability as one of its advantages. Plus, it has a 20mm autocannon capable of providing burst fire and deal damage on lightly armored opponents, which can be useful during the main weapon reload, which is quite fast as well. Therefore, we quite reasonably must pick gun breach to even more enhance firepower, and based on previous analysis, we could pick augmented optics not to be completely outbeat by opponent's vision. And as a third and final retrofit module, I suggest pick an AI targeting module to improve accuracy and aiming time. Let's pick and install those modules and compare our vehicles again. As you can see, our reload time is so fast that it rules the battlefield. It is even faster than the Macabre 1 ready rack system can provide, which is absolutely brilliant. That will be our wild card during the match: speed, maneuverability and fire rate. We improved our vision, so we will not be outcompeted by this parameter so easy anymore. And we improved our targeting capabilities to be able to provide more precision from the flanks, especially if we talk for a larger distance engagement. So this is the way I pick retrofit modules for my newly purchased vehicle. I hope it will help someone. Of course, it's not the only way to do these things. Therefore, I would be very happy if you would share your opinion and suggestions in the comments. That would be all for today. If you like this video, as always, smash thumbs up button, hit the bell and subscribe. Thank you for watching and following Tank Zone. Have a wonderful and brilliant day, and see you next time.